Yo, what is going on, you guys? It's your boy King Sanders here. We are back with another day of sports betting, and I gotta be honest, we had a fantastic day as of yesterday. We ended up with a clean sweep, bringing the brooms out as of today. So it was absolutely a fantastic day. Ended up going 4-0. We'll do just a quick recap of everything that I did have. We did have Bradley Beal over 27.5 points. That did end up cashing pretty easily. It was like right at the beginning of the fourth quarter. I think he ended with 30. I don't know the exact number, but it was like low 30s. So that didn't end up cashing for us. The Wizards -1.5 was, or -1, I think. -1 was pretty close, but it did end up cashing for us. So that made us 2-0. Then on top of that, we did have Steph Curry under 28.5 points. I don't know what happened to Steph Curry, but he only scored 9 points, didn't even hit double digits, which is very unlikely. But hey, I guess, we'll take it. It's another cash, so I'm very excited about that. And then we did also have, let's see, Jaren Jackson Jr. under 6.5 rebounds versus Brooklyn. That was another weird one. That one, he had 5, and then for some reason didn't play for most of the fourth quarter, and so it ended up cashing for us. So even if you did take that line at 5.5, it still worked out for you. So that's just a quick recap. Ended up 4-0. I'll go ahead and put it down in the description down below. But I'm really excited to hop into today's plays. But first, if you guys are new, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. We are less than 30 subscribers away from 700, and I'd love to be able to hit that by the end of the week. So I think we can definitely do it. Just need you guys to go ahead and drop me a sub. So we'll go ahead and hop into today's plays. First play of the day is going to be Fred VanVleet over 20.5 points versus San Antonio Spurs. -120 odds. The Spurs, not necessarily the best defense overall. They are the 8th worst defense in the entire NBA. Not very good. And then when it comes to the point guard position, they're really not too much better. They give up the 9th most points to opposing point guards. And then Fred VanVleet, he has recently just kind of been on a tear, to be honest. In his last 4 games, he has scored 35, 31, 27 and 31, cashing this very, very easily. So I'm going to ride this line while it is still low, because 20.5 for a guy that's averaging 30 over his last 4, he'll definitely take the value on that one for sure. And then on top of that, DeJounte Murray, one of the Spurs' best defenders, is still going to be out at this moment. At least he's listed as out. So that is going to take a lot of pressure off Fred VanVleet, make it a little bit easier on him as well. So that is going to be our first play of the day. Fred VanVleet over 20.5 points versus the San Antonio Spurs, -120 odds. Next, we have another spread pick. It is going to be the Grizzlies +3 versus Cleveland, -110 odds. This one could really go either way. The Grizzlies are 12-5 against the spread as an away team, though, so they have been very, very solid on the road this year, and they've been very good recently. They have covered in 4 of their last 5 games outright, meaning that they have just been a very tremendous basketball team as of recently, despite them trying to figure out the rotations with all of the protocols and stuff. So now that they are kind of established and they've kind of got their rotation really going, they've started to get things clicking. They've covered in 4 of their last 5. Cleveland, on the other hand, really hasn't. Cleveland has not covered in the last 4 games outright, so not necessarily something to tip your hat on. So they haven't covered in their last 4. They've been going through a little bit of a cold stretch. My only concern about this game is it does look like Garland is a game-time decision. If Garland is in, it is going to make this bet just a little bit more difficult. I do think it'll be more of a sweat if Garland is in. But at the same time, he will be coming back from protocol. And when a lot of players come back from protocol in that first game or two, usually they do struggle just a little bit. It is kind of tough to get used to when you go from quarantining for 5 days to going to play an NBA basketball game. So hopefully he can struggle just a little bit, and we can go ahead and cash this. So we have Grizzlies +3 versus Cleveland, -110 odds. Our next play is going to be Damantas Sabonis over 22.5 points versus the New York Knicks, -120 odds. Sabonis has cashed this in back-to-back games. He has been on an absolute tear as of recently, and it is due a lot to the injuries and the protocols that the team does have as of right now. It looks like Brogdon, Chris Duarte, Karis LeVert, and TJ McConnell are all going to be out, which means that the only scorer on the floor you guessed it, Damantas Sabonis. So I think that he should be able to hit this over pretty easily. It looks like Miles Turner is going to be in, but I don't really have to worry about Miles Turner taking away shots from Sabonis. Now, on the flip side of things, the Knicks, some of their best defensive players are going to be out as well. It looks like Julius Randle and Nerlens Noel are going to be out. Mitchell Robinson is listed as questionable. Obviously, I would love to see Mitchell Robinson out of the rotation because that would help our bet even more. I think that he could score a lot of points, especially if Mitchell Robinson isn't in there. But Mitchell Robinson does like to get into foul trouble. It's very, very common for Mitchell Robinson to get into foul trouble. And so we could see him out of the game early. And then Sabonis can just eat on whoever the backup power forward or center is going to be. Probably like, I don't even know. Maybe Taj Gibson, but he might still be injured. I don't really know. But those are just the main guys. And then when it comes to the New York Knicks, they haven't been good against the power forward position either. They give up the 12th most points per game to opposing power forwards. So nothing too crazy. It's not like top 10 or anything, but they still give up a decent amount to opposing power forwards. So that is going to be our third place, Sabonis over 22.5 points versus the New York Knicks, minus 120 odds. And our final play is going to be Tyrese Haliburton over 8.5 assists, minus 135 versus the Los Angeles Lakers. This is way too low. This line is way too low. Tyrese Haliburton has hit double digits, not just covered, but double digits assists in 4 straight games. So he has been able to play make. He has been able to find his teammates, set up his teammates, and get them easy looks. So, like I said, hit double-digit assists in 4 straight. And the Lakers, they're not a very good defensive team at all. I think we all know that. They have the fifth worst defense statistically. They also give up the 5th most assists to opposing they give up the 5th most assists per game. 5th most assists per game. Give up a lot of assists. They give up a lot of points. Not a very good defensive team at all. And then when it comes to shooting guards, they give up the most assists per game to opposing shooting guards. So obviously that's where Tyrese Haliburton plays, is at the shooting guard position. So this helps our bet even more that they do give up a lot of assists. And it makes sense. Some of their best defense does come from guys like Avery Bradley and stuff like that who do play the shooting guard position. So obviously, if you're a shooting guard and you have the ball, you're guarded by one of their best players. So finding an open man against some of the not as good defenders is going to lead to a lot of assists. So it definitely makes sense. And then on top of that, both these teams play at a very high pace. The Lakers play at the fastest pace in the entire league. And the Kings, they're not too far behind them. They play at the 3rd fastest pace. So there's going to be a lot of possessions, a lot of shots going up. And so I do think that Tyrese Haliburton can find 9 assists throughout the day. So those are going to be my best plays of the day. If you guys do decide to tail me, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell so you guys know whenever I post. As of right now, we went 4-0 yesterday. Hopefully we can continue that over to today and have back-to-back profit days. That would be fantastic. But like I said, I'm trying to hit 700 subscribers by the end of the week, and I think that we can do it. So, but for now, this is King Center signing out. Peace.